The original Ferris wheel introduced at the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago had a diameter of 125 feet, so that's the distance across. What is the approximate distance traveled by a person who rode this Ferris wheel for 5 complete revolutions? Use 3.14 for pi. So here we have this Ferris wheel, real quick, right over here, which if I can try to get it right, it's just a circle. It's just disguised as a circle question. Got a Ferris wheel here. You could have the little carts here that people are riding in. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to finish it out. But that's essentially what we have. Distance around. What is the approximate distance traveled by a person who rode their Ferris wheel? 5 complete revolutions. Revolutions kind of gives this away. Revolution is the distance around. Well, around the, or a circle is actually circumference. And for circumference, we just need the diameter, and then we just multiply it by pi, and it's pi times the diameter. I'll put pi first here and then times the diameter. Well, what's the diameter? They give it to us. It says the diameter, the distance across, is 125 feet. So all we need to do to figure out one revolution is take 125 and multiply it times 3.14. So if you take 125, multiply it by 3.14, I worked it out previously just to help us go a little faster here. Moving 2, you should get 392.5 feet. And it's not feet squared, we're going around this circle here in circumference. But that's not the answer. And I know 392.5 is D right there, but it's not the answer because that's just one time around. We need 5 complete revolutions. 5. So we need to take 392.5, and we actually need to multiply it times 5. And some students told me about this while they were testing. So we know it can't be D, and we're going to take 392 and multiply it by 5. And if you use some number sense here, even if we don't use the decimal, 390, we multiply it by 5. 390 is even close to 400. And if you multiplied 400 by 5, you get, close to 2,000, basically. You would get 2,000 if you multiplied those numbers. Just looking at your answer choices, doing 392 times 5. The only reasonable answer choice is A, because that's the only one that gets close to 2,000s or in the upper basically upper, 1900s. So if you do multiply it, if you go 392.5 and you multiply it by 5, you actually do get 1,962.5 or 0.50 and 50 hundredths. So you do want to multiply it and make sure you've done it accurately. But as some students told me while they were testing, A is the only one that should be reasonable at all once you start problem solving. So make sure you're still using your number sense. That comes up again and again in these word problems from composite shapes and then area and circumference of circles.